Shockingly, it's been 5 years since the last main Tekken game, but now after a few years in the arcade, Tekken 7 is finally ready to make its current gen debut. But would Street Fighter V provide a lackluster experience? Will Tekken do the same? Let's find out. First up, let's talk about the much hyped story mode, which continues the never-ending saga of the Mishima family. The story does a decent job of getting new players up to speed, and it's rather enjoyable with plenty of beautiful looking cutscenes. The story, similar to Injustice 2, sees you switching characters regularly, and it does give you a good taste of what some characters are like. But my only real gripe with the story mode is that it's just 2 hours long, which compared to Injustice's 2, 5 to 6 hour story, it is a shame. If you're buying the game for pure purpose of this story mode, I would reconsider it, as while it's fun, it's not the main reason to play it. Alongside the story mode, there's these little levels called character stories. There's one for each character, and all it is one short battle between an opponent with a cutscene. It's a decent bit of extra content that'll take about an hour and a bit to complete them all. As for single players, Tekken offers another couple of modes with the return of the arcade mode. This is pretty much what you expect. You go through a load of characters, a main boss, then the credits roll. Though this time the arcade is only about 5 stages long, which is a bit on the short side, especially compared to the older entries. Next up is Treasure Battles, which will probably be where most players will spend their time. This mode sees you fight an endless supply of fighters until you quit or lose, but the main reason to play this mode is for the treasure. After each match you unlock a chest which will unlock various cosmetic items to equip your character with. There's plenty of items to unlock, so expect to be sticking with this mode for a fair amount of time. Other single player modes include your practice mode, which is integral to learn all the combos and the ins and outs of combat. You also have a versus mode, which allows you to play with another player locally. Unfortunately, you can't set up matches for one player versus the computer, which is a shame. And that's it for the single player stuff, which is a shame. There's a decent amount of content here, but nowhere near as much as previous entries. It would have been nice if they added a couple of more modes to extend the lifetime of the game, but compared to Street Fighter V, it's still pretty better value for money. Moving on to online now, and Tekken certainly delivers here. With your ranked, casual and tournament battles, there's something for every competitive gamer to get their teeth into. Looking for a quick match is easy to get into, and bar a few connection problems, it all runs really well. The game features an impressive list of 35 playable characters, all available from the start. There's a good list of new characters here, like the stylish exorcist Claudio to the pop star Lucky Chloe. There's also a good amount of classic characters returning, like Nina, Paul, Jin and Kuma. It is a shame that some classic characters like Anna, Safina, Mokojin and Roger the Kangaroo aren't here, but I should think a few of these will appear as DLC in the future. Like in previous Tekken games, you can customise all the characters with new items, clothes and accessories. It's a decent customization tool that I use to make decent versions of Skeletor and Soldier 76 from Overwatch. The amount of stuff here at your disposal is small at first, but it does get bigger once you start unlocking loot boxes in the treasure battles. When it comes to the combat, Tekken is a 3D fighter, which allows you to take advantage of the 3D space around you and actually move around the stage, allowing you to sidestep to avoid enemy attacks. The gameplay hasn't changed much from the series' inception. You have 4 attack buttons, each button represents a limb. You can mix a bunch of buttons to make a combo to deliver some devastating damage. New for Tekken 7 is the Rage attack. When your health gets below a certain point, your character will have a sort of red aura around them, meaning you can use a rage attack. Rage attacks are more or less a super move that does some absolutely devastating damage to your opponents, and you can turn the tide of battle in your favour. Rage attacks add yet another bit of strategy to the already deep gameplay. Bizarrely, for a game like this, PlayStation VR is also supported here with a couple of modes called VR Battle and Character Viewer. And to be honest, they feel a bit of a wasteful inclusion. VR Battle lets you see a match play out in a nice looking stage, but it isn't even in first person, which is kind of pointless. It would have been better if the development time went elsewhere to add some more single player modes in the game. Tekken 7 also sounds the real deal here, with a great mix of electro beats. Also add in the fact you can play music from all the other Tekken games in the series, and you've got an awesome and rather huge soundtrack. Graphic wise, and this is a huge step up from the last Tekken game, Tekken 7 uses Unreal Engine 4 and damn what a beautiful looking game. Characters are impeccably detailed and the stages burst with added colour and weather effects. Also add in some cool hit effects, and Tekken 7 is a mighty fine looking title, especially on the PS4 Pro. Conclusion time now, and Tekken 7 is a magnificent fighting game with a superb combat system that is the series' very best. While the story mode is very short and we could do with a few extra modes, Tekken 7 does offer a decent amount of content with its great online modes and fun treasure battle mode. Tekken 7 gets an 8 out of 10 with a title of great. Thank you for watching my review, like, rate and subscribe, and until next time, happy gaming. Bye!